Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, second grade. Welcome back to another great week of learning. My name is Mrs. Vang, and I'm so excited to have you join me so that we can become amazing readers and writers. And guess what? This whole week, we're going to be focusing on the writing part. So all of our lessons this week is going to be focused on becoming amazing writers. So make sure you come back each day so that we can build up your writing skills. Now, I have another book to share with you guys. And guess what? All my books this week has to do with our writing that we're going to be learning. Isn't that cool? I know, I love reading. Now, this first book is called The Case of the Incapacitated Capitals, and it's written by Robin Poehler, and it's illustrated by Lynn Rowe Reed. And I love this book because in this book, the capitals in Mr. Wright's room are so neglected because the boys and girls in this classroom doesn't use the capitals. Isn't that sad? And so they write a letter to their principal, convincing the principal to do something. And guess what? And that's perfect because that goes right into what we're going to be learning this week. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to keep this book close by because I'm going to be really using it. But boys and girls, if you want to go ahead and read this book along with me today, or if you want to read it later, try to see if you can find it on Sora or at your county library. Okay, I'm going to keep this one close by. Now, speaking of reading, let's go to our Sora countdown and see which schools came up in our top 5. So remember, the more you read, the more you might see your school on our countdown. Okay, so today's Monday, so let's check which school came in number 5. Are you ready? Let's see. Turner Elementary. Awesome job, Turner. I know you guys are doing an amazing job checking out those books on the Sora app and reading. Awesome job. Okay, boys and girls. Now, are you guys ready to get started with our lesson? Awesome. Remember, all week, we're going to be focusing on that writing part. We're going to build up our writing skills. So we're going to focus on our grammar and then our mechanics. And mechanics are just your periods, your punctuation, your capitalization. We're going to focus on that. And then we're also going to be learning how to write an opinion letter this week. Okay, lots of learning. So are you guys ready to get started? Awesome. Okay, let's start off with our grammar for this week. And this week we are focusing on verbs. And you might have already learned this, but tell me, verbs are what? Yell it so I can hear you. Awesome job. Verbs are action words, right? They show an action. Now, we know that verbs are action words. They show an action. And to find a verb, I like to tell my second graders, you ask yourself, what is this person or thing doing in this sentence? So you ask, what are they doing? And that usually tells you what the verb is. Now, don't forget, when you add a verb, when you write with the verbs, the inflectional endings for S also applies. Because if a noun is singular, we have to add that S to a verb so that it will make sense. So don't forget those inflectional ending rules with the S, such as if there's one noun, we add an S. If a word ends with a Y, we change it to an I and add ES. And if a verb ends with the S or a CH or a SH or a Z, we add the ES. Remember all those inflectional rules? They still apply because S is an inflectional ending. Now, today, we're just gonna practice on identifying our verbs in our sentence. So, let's read the first sentence. The first sentence says, I toss a ball in the air. So ask yourself, okay, well, who did it? I, that's my subject. What did I do? You're right. I toss a ball, so my verb is toss. Thumbs up if you were thinking the same thing. Awesome job, boys and girls. Let's continue finding that verb in our sentence. Ready? The next one says, gravity pulls the ball down. Okay, so who? Gravity is my subject. What is it doing? Oh, it's pulling. It pulls. So pulls is my, good job, your verb. Because remember, verb shows in action. Can you see that action happening in your mind? Awesome. Okay, let's keep going. Number 3 is Jessica spills pins on the floor. Okay, my subject, Jessica, and Jessica is 1. Spills, you see that S? Remember what I was talking about? Jessica was 1, so we have to add an S to my noun. You're right, and spills is what she did. So spills is my, good job, I heard you, your verb. Okay, last one. A magnet lifts up the pins. Again, magnet is my subject, and guess what? How many magnet? Just 1. So because it's a singular noun, we need to add the S to our verb, so it lifts up the pins. What did it do? Lifts. So my verb is lifts. Good job, boys and girls. How did you do? Awesome job. Now, let's go into our mechanics. And this week, we are focusing on capitalization and proper nouns. And just like in that book, remember I shared, boys and girls, the capital letters were all neglected because they haven't been used. Because the boys and girls in Mr. Wright's class only use lowercase. Can you imagine that? So boys and girls, when you are writing, know that when you see a proper noun which names a specific place, person, or thing, we need to capitalize it, okay? So I'm gonna quickly go over our rules for adding capitalization. Again, proper nouns, names specific people, place, or things, right? A proper noun begins with a capital letter. Some proper nouns are the names of geographical places, and those are the nouns that we would add a capitalization to. So let's look at my worksheet here. It says, choose a proper noun that names a place, write it correctly on the line below. So let's look at number 1 in the yellow boxes. We have the word Africa, land, and place. Now, which one of those is a proper noun? Good. Is Africa a proper noun? Yes, boys and girls, it is a country. Land is just a noun. Place is just a noun. It doesn't name any places because it's just a regular noun. So Africa is my proper noun, and I'm going to write Africa correctly with that capital A. Good. Let's go on to the next one. State, Alaska, mountain. Which one names a specific place, person, or thing? Good. Alaska. Have you heard of it? Alaska is you're right. It's one of our states. Alaska. Don't forget, it's a proper noun. What do I need? That capital letter. Good job. Okay, last one. Rainforest, stream, Atlantic Ocean. Which one is the proper noun here? Good job. Atlantic Ocean's one of our oceans. And here's the tricky part. Because it's the name of the ocean, I need the word Atlantic to be capitalized. And I also need the word ocean to be capitalized because it's together, the Atlantic Ocean. How did you do, boys and girls? Awesome job. Now, don't forget when you're writing to use your capitalization in your writing. Okay, so now let's go into our writing of the week. This week, we're going to be focusing on opinion writing. So we've already focused on friendly letter and personal narrative. This week, we're going to really focus on opinion writing, but not just an opinion writing, boys and girls, but an opinion letter. So what are the features of an opinion letter? Let's see. It begins with a date and a greeting, just like remember, because it's a letter. So think back when we learn about writing a friendly letter. We need a heading, right? It tells the writer's opinion about a topic. Now remember, an opinion is how you feel about something, okay? And it gives reasons that supports the opinion. So we're going to be focusing on giving facts or reasons and facts to support our opinion. It has a concluding sentence. That means we're going to end it so we know that our letter's ending. And then because it's a letter, it's going to have a closing and a signature. So I have a letter here to kind of just show you what your writing will look like. Remember, we're going to start with the heading. So we're going to put the date. And the greeting, we're going to put dear, and we're going to put who we're writing to. Okay? And then our body, that's where our opinion's going to be. So we're going to state our opinion. And remember, an opinion is how you feel, think, or believe about something. We're going to state our reasons and our examples here within that body. And then we're going to end it with our conclusion. And in an opinion writing, or in this case, a letter, we're just going to restate our closing. And I'm going to show you how that looks like. Okay? And then don't forget your closing. We put your sincerely, yours, and then don't forget your signature, which is your name. We need to know who wrote it, okay? So this week, we're gonna focus on opinion writing. And guess what? As we're writing, I want you to think to yourself, because this is what I tell my students. This is how I'm gonna grade you, right? So as you're writing, I want you to write to a 4. So we're just gonna look at a 4, and that's a score of a 4, which means excellent. So I tell my boys and girls, okay, so how do I get a 4 in my writing? Well, one, we need to use voice to express a clear opinion and supports it with reason. So we need to have a clear opinion with supporting reason, right? We are going to develop our ideas and use linking words to organize them. We can provide a strong introduction and a conclusion, has very few or no errors in grammar, capitalization, punctuation, and spelling, okay? So let me quickly show you what that would look like. So here's a 4 paper. I call this an expert model. So at the end of 2nd grade, this is what your writing should look like. Let's look at it. And I want you to look to see if you see a 4 paper in this expert writing. Ready? So they're starting off there with the date, December 6, 2014. Dear Principal Jones, last week our class wrote a plan for adding a garden at Oak Hill Elementary School. I think it is a great idea because it will help students in the school. I hope you will approve the plan. One reason for a school garden is that kids can learn about plants. We could study how plants grow and what they need to survive. I believe a garden will be good because we could grow fresh food and flowers. Also, a school garden would help the school. It would look nice and it would give kids a fun place. Spend time outside. Oh, I lost my place there. Okay. A school garden would be a great part of our school. I hope you agree. Thank you for thinking about the plan. Sincerely, Marie Shade. Now, did you see that writing, boys and girls? That's what we call 4 writing. Isn't that awesome? And guess what? All week, I'm going to show you how to write a writing so that you will score a 4. Boys and girls, I'm going to leave you off with what we think we become. So boys and girls, if you think you're a great writer, guess what? You'll become a great writer. Don't forget to come back tomorrow and all this week so that we can continue our writing skills. Have a great day learning today, boys and girls, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.